If someone in a world, especially America, don't know how to really get away with crimes, I could show people how the U.S. government, the U.S. law enforcement is ignorant. You know, I got deported for one felony, employing a juvenile, someone which I could call my enemy, that they found with a clip of coke, which that's not even a gram of coke. And ICE, the immigration law enforcement, charged me with drug trafficking. And I've been getting away with crimes for years. So I'm gonna show the world how ignorant American law enforcement is. Because I've been locked up 50 times. 50 times. I never been in prison. I haven't committed a crime. It's just I was a target for the law enforcement in New Jersey. You know, even though I've been arrested for petty crime, petty warrant, because I was stopping frisk before stopping frisk was invented in New York. You know, so in Jersey City, I grew up where the last two legend was in Jersey City, which that was Tyson and Chimp. May Chimp rest in peace. And I grew up in those two blocks as a minor. I did 2 years for Lexington maxed out, down Ginsburg as a juvenile. And I was getting arrested back and forth as a juvenile, hustling and things. And then when I grew up around 18, I went down Ginsburg 3 times, and I went down Baby Boarding Town once. And through all this, where I grew up at, it was one of the most vicious places in Jersey City at that time, early 90s. And at the same time, I never got locked up for nothing violent, nothing like that. All my crime is, I said 90% my arrest is drugs. The rest is petty warrants for fine. But even though you lock somebody up for a fine, that's a ticket. That's a arrest. That's their business. They want to put warrants on me so they could search me whenever they want. And after I grew up as an 18, I did my last bit. I started working. I even was working 3 jobs. I was my last job where I really was fed up was the security guard. I was working security, and the head detective Marty from Jersey City, Hudson County, New Jersey, he was the head of the security, but also the head of murder detective in Jersey City. And I was working for SOS Security. And at the same time, I was getting my hands dirty. And I used to be around Emory and Bergen. Around Gifford and Bergen, Emory and Bergen. And, I was doing my thing. That's when, after I turned 18, that's where my crime spree begun. I was hustling and doing all this bullshit and working. I worked in all the banks in New Jersey, all the trust company bank in New Jersey, and First Union, because SOS Security, that was there site. That was two of their sites, and I was a floater, so I go anywhere in New Jersey. I used to drive, and I even used to go to work in stolen cars. And the um the law enforcement knew that. You know, the last time I had went to work as a security guard in a stolen car. It was a beige Cadillac. You know, I went to work somewhere far in a nursing home where old people was at, somewhere far in New Jersey. I don't even remember. Anyway, on my way back, the car ran out of gas right there on Manhattan, and on Turnley by ringside. Right there, I left the car in the middle of the street, walk home. My fingerprints is on it. And before the car had ran out of gas, I used to work in this bank site on Kennedy Boulevard, on Jewett and Kennedy Boulevard. It was a site where all the banks sent all the information. I was there with a security guard. He was a supervisor somewhere, Carlson, New Jersey. I used to work there, but I never met him. But they had two sites there, and I used to hear about him. His name is Mel Carey. He from North, and I started working my last site with him. He used to relieve me, or I used to relieve him, and you know he knew I had a Cadillac, and I told him it was a stolen Cadillac, and he wanted me to bring it in Newark for him. And Newark was hot at this time with the stolen car. You could get killed driving a stolen car in Newark by the cops. So I was like, nah, man, if you want the car, you could get it because I don't care about the car. Me and him had the same car. And then I ended up going to Dixon Mill. He told me I'm going to have a site, Ralph, and I'm going to bring you there because he liked my work ethic and he probably heard about me. So, and I went there. That's where I met Marty. But I always knew him in the hood. His name rang bell around the hood. How he one of the murder detective that, you know, when before arresting someone for murder, that have you do sexual favor for them and release them, and then have other police lock them up. It's a whole bunch of crap. It's the same crap that the white man used to use back in the days, but they still doing it in the hood. That's why a lot of murders all over America don't get solved because of these kind of animal favors. Those some sick stuff. So that's what they doing in the hood in America. You know, especially Jersey City, even Chicago. I don't know their business, but I think it's the same thing. That's why a lot of murders never get solved, because the white man is still using that same slave tactic today in America. So that's what it is. So that's part one of my crime spree.